Hello, happy people. I'm about to embark in another cocoa experience, and I figured in order to clarify some things about dosage and stuff, um, I'd like to film it. Now, to talk a bit about some of the more non-physical aspects of taking plants like this. Even before taking it, like it's just come to my attention while preparing the hot water and just doing these things. I've just been faced once again, like probably any meditator is faced at some point, with the amount of neurological noise that's inside my head just day in and day out, if that makes sense. So here's what I mean. I think these plants, these wonderful plants, the teachers of any kind, whether it's cocoa or other things or whatever, bobinsana, ayahuasca, mushrooms, all kinds of wonderful Indian plants for meditation or calming the mind or body. What they teach us, I believe, is to start to actually pay attention and to be here now, to be mentally focused and present in our whole brain and body, as opposed to mentally split and doing something with our hands here, boiling the water or whatever, cutting the potatoes, and then with 5 or 7 different parts of our mind doing 7 other things. Now I've been, how do I say this? I think since childhood, I think most of us have been taking in a ton of neurological noise, if that makes sense. By that I mean improper food. A parent or any sort of caretaker that doesn't know, that isn't themselves paying attention to what they're eating and to their own states, will be, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, drinking a ton of coffee and who knows what else, and sugar and all that. And they will not be paying attention to how that affects their brain, their thinking, and their brain waves, their level of internal noise as opposed to peace. So if they're not paying attention to their own level of peace, they're probably not paying that much attention to yours. Or if they are, even if they notice that you're restless, they're probably not going to stick with the attention on the task for long enough to find a solution to why you are being restless, or your brothers or your sisters and so on. What I'm saying is that I was noticing this morning, and it's not the first time, that between filling a cup of water, from the tap, and putting it on the stove thingy, the gas, to heat up, and waiting for it, it wasn't a smooth thing, water filled, put on fire, and so on. No, it was like filling water. Oh, what's this thing doing? Oh, what's it? Oh, girls, money. Water. So you see this attentional jaggedness, this attentional noise, this trying to, like for instance, if you look at this, ojo de Dios, let's say you have this target, okay? I want to be here with my mind for half a minute or even 10 seconds, as long as it takes to fill a cup of water. And if your mind does this, and then, oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, look at this thing. Oh, right? So if the length of clean attentional span that you have is that of a goldfish, your whole thinking in your whole life will be that of a goldfish. Because whatever happens around you that requires longer attention span to take in and process, you will not see. Seriously, I do believe this, and I've actually felt it to be the case. Now, why am I putting all this in an intro about how to make cocoa? I think that this is highly important for all plants. That is not just about eating the physical plant. Okay? You can see this in, I mean, to my mind especially, it's how Americans handle their food, and how, by extension, the fast food culture that came from there handles its food. You see, it's just even generally their data in front of them. It's almost like nothing is good enough to pay attention to, if that makes sense to you. It's as if you can get the best sandwich in the world, and it won't be like, okay, let's take a moment to enjoy this amazing sandwich. No, it will be like, let's take a moment to enjoy the sandwich and talk about this stuff. And oh, look, phone. See what I'm saying? This fast-paced, attention-splitting, short attention span, goldfish craziness. You know, instead of one thing, just keep at it. Keep the one thing going. Instead of that, it's just like... So I think these plants, what they're trying to remind us of is that at least some of the time we're very well served by not doing that crazy thing. Some of the time you may want to neurologically shut up and just be here now, just with a cup of water, just with some powder, just with the sound of a cup and a spoon hitting each other. What does that tell you? Maybe it tells you something. So I'm just noticing this, that especially this morning, I've been home alone for a couple of days, and so I've had time to basically do the things I want to do. That is, put away all the clocks that are ticking. It's like an incessant water drop that most people don't even hear, but it does reset the mind every second. And if your mind is clear and clean, you will hear them actually. You will hear them probably even from the other room. If you put them away, you can actually get to silence. You get your level of neurological noise low, really low. Just calm the internal waters. And on that baseline, on that clean baseline, maybe you fasted a little bit, so there's no more neurological noise from processing weird foods either. Maybe you've kept silent. This is probably more difficult to do if you have a family, but if you're not, if you're alone, or if you go in a forest or something like that for a couple of days, you can maintain verbal silence, as in both not speaking and not listening to verbal data. This will silence your verbal centers in your mind. And like again, from that baseline, now you can start eating plants. Now you can start drinking tinctures and doing things, and who knows what else. Okay, long intro. I think I'll split this to another video because, yeah, 9 minutes, it's already pretty long. I do encourage you to consider this. When you're brewing anything, when you're making anything, stop the radio, stop the music, or at least make the music relevant. Put on some whatever is relevant music to you, tribal music, psytrance, chill out, ambient, wherever you want to go. Make the music choice mindful if you have some, or make the silence mindful. Cut the gibberish, cut the chit-chat. Take some time to focus on the plant, on the stuff. Imagine it's alive, so you're telling it, hey, I'm doing this because, I'm doing this cacao ceremony because, I'm doing this Bobinsana thing because I would like to work on this, this, and this. I feel that whatever plant spirits you're going to connect to from that point, from that place, you'll get a ton more out of it. Okay. That being said, let's get a good mojo going here and drink some cacao.